Good evening, everyone, and welcome to another edition of Friday Night Frenzy, week 5 of the high school football season. And I was filming in a winter jacket, and I still can't feel my hands or feet. But anyway, plenty of action on this crisp Friday night, and it starts with a rivalry. The 4-0 Hematites hosting the 2-2 Miners. Negaunee looking to spoil the Hematites' perfect season. But it's Ishpeming who strikes first, and it doesn't take them long. Gavin Sundberg fakes the handoff and keeps it himself. 2-point conversion is good, and the Hematites up 8-0. 2 minutes into the game. Second quarter now, the Miners in Hematite territory. Jason Waterman targeting Tyler Hinsela, but Sundberg jumps in front and takes it to the house. A pick six, and Ishpeming finds itself up 16-0 early on. But Waterman will redeem himself. He punches it in from a yard out to get 6 points back, and the Miners are on the board. The 2-point conversion is good. It's now 16-8 Ishpeming. And on the kickoff, though, Hunter Smith back to receive. No Chris Berman impression this week from me. Smith is off to the races, though. An 85-yard kickoff return, and the Hematites are back in front by 2 scores. A punt return last week, kickoff return this week, nothing that kid can't do. 2:15 until halftime. Miners trying to close the gap from 10 yards out. Drew Duchesne finds the promised land. 2-point conversion is no good. Ishpeming leading 22-14 at the half. The Ishpeming marching band playing the greatest showman at halftime. Job well done by them. To the third now, the Miners slow down Ishpeming's run game, but here Hunter Smith breaks free for a large gain, and that's about all the action there was in the third. It picked up in the fourth now. The Hematites on the 5-yard line. They're threatening. Once again, Gavin Sundberg, have yourself a day. He finds the end zone for the third time, and the Hematites go up 30-14. Ishpeming and Negaunee both found the end zone later in the fourth, and it's the Hematites who come out on top 36-26. Ishpeming improves to 5-0. The Hematites travel to Gwinn next week. Now to the scoreboards, a couple of shutouts this evening. West Iron County soared past Gogebic 43-0. The Mountaineers with a big win over the Broncos 55-0. And Westwood won by a forfeit. Manistee was unable to field a team, and a decision will be made on Monday to see if the Emeralds will finish out the 2018 season. And we go next to Gwinn, where Dion Brown and the undefeated Model Towners had their hands full with Houghton. The Model Towners' first drive started from their own 1-yard line. Caleb Anderson drove Gwinn down the field. Daniel Holmes makes a good catch, enough for a 28-yard gain. And as you see, a Model Towner first down. Later on in that drive, 4th and goal now from the 4-yard line, and the exchange was not a good one. Houghton recovers the fumble, and there's no score after 1 quarter of play. And we stay with Gwinn. The Model Towners again on the move. Anderson looking downfield, but Nate Irva at the right place at the right time. He picks it off and returns it to the Gwinn side of the 50-yard line. The Gremlins would punch it in a few places later. Following his O-line, Irva scampers in from 7 yards out for the score. 2-point conversion was good, and it's 8-0 Houghton. The Gremlins D wasn't done yet in this one. On the play action fake, Anderson's screen pass is intercepted by Keskamaki, who breaks a tackle and is off to the races. Sam would run 70 yards to the promised land. And thanks to number 84, Houghton had a 16-0 lead. Gwinn would turn the ball over on downs, and with 90 seconds left until halftime, Jack Ashburn catches the 39-yard touchdown pass. Houghton wins big tonight in Gwinn. The Model Towners face Ishpeming at home next week. In Alger County tonight, the Munising Mustangs took on Hancock in a very windy environment. First quarter, Hancock on the move. Austin Solani grabs a swing pass, and Austin sheds off a couple of ponies and is tackled at the Munising 10-yard line. The Bulldogs looking to cash in here, and this time it's quarterback Colton Solani on 4th and goal. He decides to keep it and run it in himself. Colton looking for the end zone, but no. Anthony Matson finds him first. Matson with a huge hit. No score after 1. To the second now, Hancock determined to find the end zone. Go back to Colton Solani on the jet sweep. Colton finds the pylon for the score to make it 7-0 Hancock. Later on in that quarter, the Bulldogs fake the punt on 4th. Solani slings it over the middle, and there's number 5 in orange and black. Anthony Matson scampers inside the Hancock 20-yard line. Matson had himself quite the night tonight. And from there, the Mustangs would go to work. Josh Hootery finds Matson for the score, and the Mustangs would win this one 24-21 over the Bulldogs. And we go Next to Calumet, another undefeated team where the Copper Kings band kept everyone entertained. Calumet taking on Norway this evening. No score in the first. So we go to the second. And speaking of entertainment, Travis Ojala gives the home crowd something to cheer about. 61 yards and a couple of broken tackles. To the house he goes. That made it 6-0 Calumet. Later in the quarter, Calumet at the Knights' 12-yard line. Sam Urkala finds a little daylight, and he is in for the touchdown, extending the Copper Kings lead to 12. On the two-point conversion, Calumet moves the ball through the air. Brent Laukus finds Matt Ojala in the back of the end zone for 2 more points, and the Calumet D pitches a shutout at homecoming over the visiting Knights. Calumet is now 5-0 on the season. Checking out the 8-man scores now, North Central had no issues with North Dickinson. The Jets beat the Nordics 55-6. And another shutout tonight, Pickford 58, Rudyard 0. A close one between Rapid River and Superior Central, but the Rockets came out on top with a 32-24 win. Engadine hosting Cedarville this evening. The Eagles picked up a 39-20 W. Forest Park on the road in Wisconsin, and they are coming back to the UP with a win. The Trojans win 32-18 behind a dominating performance from Tommy Paltoma. He ran for 314 yards on 48 carries and found the end zone twice. Back to the action now. The Eskimos hosting the Evergreens from DC Everest. Early on in the first quarter, Isaac Cooper, the ball carrier for Escanaba, and he breaks free and goes the distance for the touchdown. And the Eskimos up 7-0 less than 2 minutes into the game. A good start for Escanaba, and that would be the only score in the first quarter. Jumping to the second, Noah Tarango extends into the end zone for Escanaba's second score. Point after is no good. It's 13-0 Eskimos, and Escanaba goes on to beat DC Everest 20-13. Heading down the road now to Gladstone, the Braves hosting MC Glen Lake. Jumping to the third quarter, Jared Crow under center. He airs it out and finds the hands of Vince Hughes. He avoids a couple tackles and meets the end zone. The Braves extend their lead to 21-8. Moments later now, the Lakers looking to get something going on offense, but Rudy Peterson says no, not today. He comes up with a huge interception, and that was a clutch play there by the Braves. Later on offense, Brody Sandville takes the handoff, and that's all she wrote. Touchdown, Braves. Gladstone beats MC Glen Lake 28-8. Back to the boards one more time. Menominee gets their first win of the season, 57-32 tonight over Southern Door. And thanks to some high winds at the Mackinac Bridge, Marquette's homecoming game against Petoskey was pushed back to 1 p.m. tomorrow, with the homecoming parade set to begin at 11.